Talking over things here. Yes. Hopefully you guys can hear me. What's up, Ben? I don't know why I just lost sound there. Anyways, let me turn this back on. How's it going, everybody? All right, so hopefully you can hear me, man. Good morning, we can hear you well. Man, I don't know what I did. I just killed the music there. Fucking up my jive. It's kind of bugging me, man. Hold on. I don't know what happened. All right. Turn that shit down, but that was kind of messing with me, man. I don't like things unfinished like that. It's like running out of nails and you need one more. It's like, fuck. It's going to bother you. As we come to these markets, to the idea of the stock market, I was really thinking on this morning. Time. I mean, it's such a pivotal part in all of this stuff, especially inside the money flow. The idea of the stock game. And we can shorten our window, and what you were looking at here is just a daily chart, man. Nothing fancy. Each one of those bars is one day. Whoa. Each one of, man, I love it. Don't you get technical problems running threes. Each one of these bars is one day, man. One day in the life of this stock. You know, one day. Look at this. Let me show you something. What's crazy. That is a reversal candle. And that is a reversal candle. Look at that. Now, I call these anchor points, pivot points. They're points to try to anchor, to build support and resistance, but not just what we call support and resistance, which is like a floor and a ceiling, but not just that. What that is doing, all that is doing is bringing order to the chaos that you're seeing, the ups and downs. Oh, we're up today. Oh, we're down tomorrow. We're up today. We're down tomorrow. We're up today. We're down tomorrow. But inside of that chaos of up, down, good news, bad news, like all this shit that's happening, we can look at these indicators and at the pattern. That's the piece that the pattern brings to you, right? So there's a one, there's a breakout, and we know what inside of the money flow. I know that this, it's not prediction. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know what it looks like when it does things. And so that's how I played the money flow. I would use it to my advantage. But I think one of the things people miss is that over time, you see that, right? That move up, and then all we can do when we structure it is, all I can do is show it to you from the past so that you can write it out into the future. And so if we're looking at it today, what are you saying? Well, we're going up, man. That's it. This right here, whatever this is, it doesn't matter. Guy says, what's the ticker? Doesn't matter. It's going up, right? It's going up. That's it, man. That's all you need to know. Where do we think it'll go before? Where it went last time. And this little wave, this is what I began to watch, would roll around the big indexes. Because the big indexes are just what? A composite of what the general stock market's doing. There's nothing special about an index fund. It's just 500 fucking stocks, man. So, you get some people that are index only. Yeah, the reason index only works is over time, the pressure on the stock market is to the upside. Less shares, more buyers, inflation, Prices get passed along. You raise taxes? Good. I raised the price of my product. It's passed. All taxes are passed to poor people. It's the fucked up part about taxes, bro. Okay, tax me. I'll raise the rent. That's what happens, man. It's the natural order of inflation. It just goes higher and higher. Well, that plays out in the stock market too, or in assets. Plays out around the world. So as we watch this, we can determine, well, how do we want to respond to that? That's what this gives you. So as you go back and you look, this is the S&P 500. Look at this. You're just going to follow this chart all the way back to like the year fucking 18, whatever. 18.2, whatever it is. It's just going to run down. Like it's going to keep doing the same thing. And you get to choose on this day, today, if you enter into that, right? And that's today. There's a daily. This is a one-day chart. If we're looking at, and we are just looking at those reversals, you don't typically see them as clear on an index, but check this out. Right? That was a pretty good one. That was close. I don't know. I just find these things fascinating. Any one day of itself doesn't mean anything, right? So I'm looking for a pattern of price movement and trying to use that to help me position, usually buys, but sometimes position sells. You say, what do you mean? Well, maybe I want to take some down when I notice it's run up real high. It goes both ways. So if I have assets that have appreciated and I have some way of valuing them, maybe when they run up, I'm looking to what? I don't want to get out, but maybe I want to take some off the table, right? To buy something that I think has a better return over time. See, that's a different way of approaching time too, right? And knowing that in this cycle, we're going to see it move down, over, up. So this is on an index, not quite as clean. And you notice that green line right there. That green line measures 1 month. That's it. It's the accumulative energy of buying and selling, moving in and out of stock market, an index, an ETF, an MLP, a REIT, an individual stock, a penny stock, a biotech, a growth stock, a junior bio growth tech stock, right? And then we got all these subsectors. There's all these different kinds of stocks trying to do different things, but ultimately what they're all trying to do is to appreciate in price, right? And you say, that's why companies do buybacks, dude. They're trying to remove liquidity, remove share count, make it more scarce. In crypto, they call that burning it. They want to burn down it. Makes each one worth more, not less. US dollar, they want to make it less. They try to burn it. They want to inflate it. Shares are about scarcity, man. Southern Electric. Look at this. Doesn't that pattern look eerily familiar? If you followed me more than a week on my stock chart classes, you know this is what I'm looking for. This is organic, man. God damn, why does it keep doing that? This is alive, bro. Look at that. See it? Like 13 years ago, I'd been trading, 5, 6, 7 years. And I'm at a blackjack table. And I like to play cards, man. I've always been somewhat of a gambler. That's why I recognize my gambling. I try to limit gambling and make it more organized gambling. Trading is gambling. But I wouldn't call it gambling as much as speculation. There's levels to this game. There's levels. There's pure fucking speculation. Like you're just like, roll the dice. Blah, blah, I win. Blah, blah, I lose. Roll it. That's gambling. They say, how do you define gambling? Right there. That's gambling. Now, if we start to input things, rules to the game, possibilities, edges, randomness, like blackjack, See, there's a difference between blackjack and roulette. Roulette, pick a number, spin the fucking wheel. That's gambling. You get into cards, yeah, that's gambling. But now there's people that start to go, You ever notice when price goes above the green line, it goes for a ways, and then it goes extreme, and then it stops? Yeah, I see that all the time. Really. You ever notice it does it to the opposite too? Like it goes down, and it keeps going down until it builds like a box. And when it builds this box, price, that's what this is. The green line measures 30 days of price, 30 bars. 1 day, 2 days, the day you didn't look, 3 days. Oh, I had to go see my brother. I didn't look. 4 days, 5 days. Wait, wife was mad at me. 6 days, 7 days. And it goes back. And every day it records on your chart. Even if you don't look, it records. Boom. All right, we're turning off comments. We have to turn them off on Instagram. They come to church and start asking stupid questions instead of just listening. What you're seeing there is the natural order of the stock market. When things are in order, when there's order to chaos, this is what happens. I didn't make it up. I didn't invent it. It was doing this long before I was here. It'll do it long after you're gone. This way of price moving. And sometimes it moves in perfect picture to what I talk about in the money flow. That it goes through a phase of accumulation. And you say, what is accumulation? Yeah, what is it, bro? It's a moment in time where people stop. What is going on with my camera here? Sorry, guys. Where people stop and they buy. And I'll do this. I'll buy Uber every fucking day. Buy. Sell some of this. Buy. Sell some of this. Buy. And then it breaks out. What do? Stop. Now it's time to get paid, man. Let it go. You don't chase it out. I'm already in it. Right? That's what this signifies. That's what that green line lets us to determine. It lets you zero in on what's going to happen, the money flow. So this is a different chart here. This is ENVX. And you see the pattern, right? I mean, the green line is to help you see the pattern if you were new to seeing the pattern. And the pattern is just the predictability of human beings. You think, oh, look at that, man. Look at the reversal on that chart. It's just amazing. So now what am I doing? I'm going to jump ahead for just a second. I'm pretend like you know what I'm... All right, I'm about to flip out. I'm going to pretend like you know what I'm saying. We have a box being built here now. There's your 1, 2, and now we're going into 3. You say, how do you know it's 3? It started going extreme, and now it's put in. It's building that. You can see. Price rejected this, came back down in. Now it's going sideways. So if I'm in this as a swing trader, what would be a good thing to do now? Take some down. I won. So I would take some off. We did. Why? You're getting paid. You want to take it, you want to sell into strength. And then what? That doesn't mean the run is over, bro. Look, this is the big thing people miss. This is the time part I'm talking about. Look, over time, if you say, well, buy and hold works. I know. Over time, because look, here it was $12, and then it ran all the way to $25, and then all the way back to $13, and now to $22. Right? And what do you see playing out? 1, 2, the money flow. Around we go. Right? But over time, it's drifting higher. And I could show you 1,000 fucking stocks just like that. That came to me. Now some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I know. Where'd you get it from, bro? Oh, Chris Johnson. Where'd he get it from? Right here. right? Where'd I get it from? Meaning this thing has been playing out before us, man. This is not an invention. This is how price moves. What you do with it is up to you. This doesn't do this because I wrote this down. It was already doing it. So as I'm sitting there playing blackjack and they're handing the cards around, I'm like, every time I get an 11, I know statistically I should double it. And I kid you not, clear as fucking day, I'm sitting there and I've got hundreds of books on trading and stocks, and I've been day trading for a long time and seeing all this stuff, doing different strategies, different indicators, and I see as clear as day this exact picture right here. Like, I should put this in my house as a fucking painting. People go, what is that? That is a stage 2 breakout, yo. That a box was built. Put in an anchor point. There's your reversal, right? And then what? Built a box. You can see it. Fucking kid with a crayon can see that. You don't need, this is not hidden, right? It's not hidden. Now, it can be tricky in the meantime because look, there's a box inside of a stage 2 move. Meaning you got a little box, but it kept moving up. Same to the downside. You can get a little box and then it keeps going down. What side of the green line is it? Long as it's on this side, it don't matter that you think it's done going down. It could go down again. Are you fucking kidding me? I just lost my mouse, man. My battery just went out on my mouse. Let me find a battery, man. Be right back. That blows, man. All over a battery, man. Hold on. All right, we're back. He's a part 2. Where'd we leave off, man? The box. So I'm playing blackjack, and it occurs to me, it's a true story, as I'm playing, that seems like over time the house just wins, like the dealer. You know? And I start seeing all these different charts. And if you look back over, this is a weekly chart, you're going to see this where you can connect where prices want to go higher. You could draw the pivot tops and bottoms. We've talked about this, right? And these bottoms want to go up, man, on good assets. And so as I'm sitting there, I'm seeing this as I'm playing, and I'm like, this is like the dealer, man. And if we go to a monthly Southern, what do you see? So in other words, as these companies become public and as they grow and they expand, if they do well, like if they make it to, legit business stuff, they tend to go up. But inside of this up, when we go to the daily, it's chaos, man. And so as I'm sitting there playing it, I'm like, all right, it seems like, over time, good shit goes higher. Cost of land, art, rare antiques, Rolex watches, farmland, businesses, skill sets. Like it cost more for plumbing today than it cost me 20 years ago. Plumbers today make more money than they made 20 years ago. There's this general push of inflation for higher prices for things to go up. Rarely do plumbers make half of what they used to make. Now, you can have a crash or economic, you can have that. And then after that just comes higher prices, man. That's the general push. And as I began to see this pattern that you see right there, and I was thinking back to, I had recently read a book by a guy named Stan Weinstein, and Stan taught that the market moved in 4 stages, not 3. Common was up, down, and that's it, and then over. 3, up or down, or sideways, that's it. And Stan was like, no, man, it does this move where, and he's talking about on a weekly chart. He's talking about on a weekly. And so he uses some different moving averages, but he's basically seeing this over a weekly. And then he would go to the daily to enter his trades. And he had a newsletter he put out. And his purpose is to grow his wealth. That's his purpose. And so he's trying to allocate most money to the things he thinks has the highest possibility. And if at times putting on hedges and trying to trade things that speculatively are going to make more money. Right? That's what you're trying to do here. And people tend to make it more complicated than it is. And this is ENVX, but let's look, here's oil. The same thing. You start to see this pattern or this movement of price where it does these long, look, from like down there up, right? You're seeing this push to the upside. And you'll see it to the downside, right? When price is on this side of the green line, it pushes to the downside. And when it goes to these extremes, it tends to what? Come back in, man. And so it moves through this pump of what you might call a pump, a movement. 4 stages of movement. The good thing is sectors tend to move together. And asset classes. This is why you want to own different things. So you can always be playing this game. Technology can fall out of favor. But when technology is in favor, you want to overweight technology. And when you get gains, you want to then start looking for things that are on sale. So I'm pretty heavy in oil right now, but I was buying oil on the opposite sides of these green lines. Right? I want to be a buyer back in here, not up in here. Right? So if I see price moving like this, I want to be a buyer during accumulation, make my money on the ride up, and look to take my money off during distribution. If that's what I'm doing. That's the way I like to do it. Maybe you're doing it different. But like oil, we've had a huge run up in oil. Huge. Massive. So I own a bunch of MLPs, Exxon, Chevron, Conoco, right? Gush, I have some leveraged bets. I've leveraged bets on oil, half since the very bottom, man. What are we doing with that money? Man, I'm ready to deploy it in the DraftKings, Walmart, Target. Like, I want these trades to help fund part of the next trade, but I'm not waiting exclusively on that. As this builds out and continues to go higher, I'll look to allocate it to that. But in the meantime, I need to know, is there something else brewing? So if we want to buy on this side, and you can look at the chart here. I mean, just as a general rule, like if you're looking at charts, you don't want to be the guy buying when it looks like this, right? That don't work. That don't work. And if you're in the money flow and you got that day right there and you were in our Discord group, what would I tell you? I'd be like, that is fucking reversal. This is the top. And if it went higher the next day, I'd tell you, this is the top. Because we know what it looks like. It looks like this. But remember, we just said, as long as you're on this side of the green line, the direction is up. Even here. The direction is up, but that's what the top looks like. Every top. And yet, what? It did another one. Okay. All that did is give me a chance to take down a little bit more. A little bit more. And then what? Big ass pullback. Good. If we think this thing's worth 14, I don't even know the price target. Let's say it's $30. The point I'm trying to make is you may play this game with this stock. You can dance with this stock for the next 6 years, man. Just dancing with it. You want to make the sizing get bigger. You want your trades to get bigger. You want your investments to get larger and larger. Right? You want to take $50,000 positions of REITs. $100,000 positions of electrical companies. $100,000, you'll probably pay attention tomorrow. If you got $1 million in this, usually what happens, people who get $1 million in this, they haven't played the game every day. They don't get the movement of assets, the rotation. The recognition of cyclical flow of capital throughout the markets. That's what this is. Cyclical flow. That over time, it's going to march its way to where it's true value. And some stocks will run hot. They'll go way higher than true value. And they'll run hot in general. And guess what? When it's time to pull back and the market winds change and the S&P 500 goes into a stage 4 decline, I'll get people go, Gerald, why do you think this stock's going down? Because the whole fucking market's going down? Like when the S&P 500 turns, your stocks are going down except for a select few, right? So if interest rates get smashed, there are stocks directly correlated to it. It won't matter if their earnings are good or how well they're doing. People will sell them. Boom. And guess what? It'll go through. And then you'll get to a point where you're like, wow, that's really cheap, man. People who watch every day, if you watch cars, if you watch whatever it is in life, you watch it, you know when it's cheap. Like, I don't know paintings. I'm not in that world. I can't tell you the value. I can't guesstimate it. But I know when utility stocks are cheap. I've watched utility stocks like for 20 years. And they go up and they go down, and oil stocks run up and oil stocks run down. So right now, all the oil stocks are coming into true value. That's where they're coming into. And then they'll raise it, and they'll come into it, and then they're going to miss it, and then they'll turn, and it'll go down. Or the president will do something and try to pressure oil, and it'll roll over, and it'll roll over, and it'll pull back, and it'll go a little too far, and they'll stop, and then they'll go back to the bull. Back. You don't go to 100 from 0 to 100, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to get to watch to see this play out, man. So as you follow these sectors, you got to dig into this. So as oil runs up, you say, well, I don't have any oil stocks. I know, but this is how you get them. You stay with it. Same with GameStop, any of these, man. So we want to trade Bitcoin. We got to stay on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's building a box. The guy says, no, it's going to 100,000. Maybe. Maybe it is. After it pulls back, I don't know. There's a box. Price turns breaking out of boxes. You say, what do you mean? Right there. Broke out of a box. Right? Over here, broke down a box and then came back. But so you see, Bitcoin's really good at building these boxes. You can see them. See them all? Are we extreme? Not really. You see over here, it can run extreme for a minute. But it, we don't know. We'll see. But guess what? It's going to roll over, man. It's going to run up. People are like, you think I missed it? No. It's been playing this game, doing the money flow since day one. It'll go sideways, run up, go sideways, pull back, go sideways, run up, go sideways, pull back. It's going to do this for the rest of your life, man. Bitcoin is. And there'll be people going, you think I should buy any? The whole way up. They do that with the stock market. They'll do that with real estate. It's just waiting. I'm just watching it, not doing anything, just waiting. Look at Walmart. All right. So if you understand the money flow, we have used this indicator called the RSI. Now, as I'm sitting at the blackjack table, it occurs to me, and I've been playing with the RSI for years, that the real value of the RSI was the heads up on the box. That's it, man. That it's going to give me a heads up. All it is it's measuring velocity. Prices move too far too fast. It's not a recognition on value. Like this can't tell you how valuable a stock is. It's just telling you relative to the past, the last 14 days, the price has moved probably too high, And this is Walmart. And so, if you look back over here, Walmart was up, Walmart was down, Walmart was up, Walmart was down. Price was pretty contained. And then it rips. And that's unusual for Walmart. So you're going to see the RSI go extreme. Now, just because the RSI extreme doesn't mean that the move is done, but it is the first signal that the move is done. You get it? It's like you're driving, you get a yellow light. Oh, shit. Might want to slow down. What do I mean? Maybe we lock a little bit in. So I'm looking to be a seller into that and a buyer into extreme. I'm not saying buy the moment you see it. You could. You do better over time without a fucking doubt. I mean, let's just be real. If you bought here and you bought here, all this up and down may be nerve-wracking, but you're all right. Yeah, you're all right, right? And when it came up here, you took some down just looking to put it back on here. Now, that sounds easy. That's hard to do in real life because we're not robots. If we could trade algorithms, this would all be a lot easier. You would just take it off, earmark it for this, not spend it on anything else, be super disciplined, start putting it back on. I've had to create separate accounts to ensure that I do this. So I'm doing this with the S&P right now. I have this triple leverage fund. You've seen me post it on Instagram, maybe sometimes M1 Finance. It's all leveraged. Leveraged bonds, leveraged technology, leveraged S&P. And it's just an experiment. And if it goes to fucking zero, I don't care. But I bet it's going to $100,000. And I have it divided, 33% bonds, 30% technology, 33% S&P. The only time that I step in is when the RSI bangs. What do I mean? I sell into this, start raising cash. If it goes into a stage one, where are we at? Where'd my shit go? If it goes into a stage one, I start to add it back. If it breaks out, I'm fully back in. That's it. Let it ride. Gets extreme, I take a little off. That is it. That's all I'm doing there. Except it's triple leveraged funds. So if the market moves, if the SPY moves up, like look at the TQ. If the market's up 30%, this thing's up 90%. But so is to the downside, right? So watch. We started taking down TQ. Now what? When am I looking at putting it back on? When it goes extreme. Did it go extreme? Yeah. Do I have a pivot point? Yeah. Has it ever stopped here before? Yeah. Is it above the 5-day moving average? Yeah. So what do we have going on? It looks like accumulation, a bottom, right? So as I'm here, I'm seeing this. After what? After this, sold off, and then it stopped. And it stopped where it was before. It was on an extreme. So as I come down here, RSI check, support resistance check. Is the MACD telling me that this move, the momentum to the downside is stopped? That's what I'm looking for. So let's look. And that's what the histogram is all about. That blue right there. All this is momentum indication. Now, other people use it different. I'm telling you how I use it. You don't even see the MACD crossover on my screen. This is TSI. I don't need to see the crossover. The crossover happens here and here and here. Like you'll see the two lines and they cross. Yeah, I know. I can see it here too. I know what it is. I've looked at it enough. And those crosses, that's all we care about, right? When it comes out of extreme zones. Look, that's all you care about. Not when it's up there. You want it in extreme zones. It's when it comes out of them. All right? So as I'm looking at this, I go, okay, is it coming out of an extreme? Yes. Is the momentum turning? Yes. Is TSI turning? Yes. Has it put in a bottom? Yes. Are there 4 candles? No. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you count this one, but what do I say? If it stopped where it stopped before, you can borrow one, right? Now this is trading for me. So I start putting leverage back on. Not all of it. I was at 33. Why? Because I took it down. Now I'm putting it back on. And I'm going to do this as it plays out and be fully when it breaks above what? That green line. Same as here. Same as over here. And this is what we want to catch. These. These are what build your account, right? These big ass, easy to trade. What are you doing? You're taking some down, right? Getting it wrong and it keeps going up. Okay. You just have less. It's running triple anyway. On the name of game on that, when you're doing triples, is avoiding as much of that as possible. The upside will take care of itself. This is going higher. Technology's going up. So you're using leverage. And so this is like options that don't expire. Now you could burn to zero if the stock market crashes. So the leverage funds aren't without risk. They're not without risk. So look at bonds for just a second. Look at this. Straight down. Now this is supposed to go up when the market goes down. Market goes higher, this tends to drift lower. Very bullish sign for the stock market. It broke. That was a box being built. Here's the thing. Is that extreme? No. So what did that tell you? If we are going down the checklist of the money flow, if you're up in here, is that extreme? No. Does that mean that's probably done going down? Probably not. It's probably not done. I mean, we can wait and see. But when you see that and it's not extreme, it's not extreme. I don't know what to tell you. It hasn't dropped a lot. I mean, it can go more. And now look, it's getting more. So the box that's on the extreme is going to be the most powerful box signal. Does that make sense? So if you see a stock run up and then it stops and then it starts to pull back, a lot of times you won't see me engage that stock. Even if I'm in it, let's say this is DraftKings and I'm in down here, right? And it runs up and I take some off and it pulls back a little bit and you're like, hey, are you getting in it? Nah. I mean, if it goes up, good. But, I'm looking for the one that's pulled back the most so that the go up is the best. Get it? Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't play that. Like, if you just love that stock, load it up. But I'm just telling you how my natural instinct, I want to see these pullbacks come in good, man. I'm greedy. So if I'm looking at, let's say, DraftKings right now, if I'm trying to play the bottom, which we did on this one, but remember what I said, might not be the bottom. Like, you get it? So you probably could call that a box, that a box, and a box. That box came on an extreme top. So if we were looking at the money flow pattern, you say, what do you think of the stock? I say, looks like you're in stage 3, bro. RSI 70, 68, 70. I got 3-4 days sideways. You got an anchor point. Could be going down. But it's on the side of an uptrend. So until it breaks, we don't know that. I'm not trying to predict. I just want to utilize the value of time going higher to trim down some and utilize the time of time going lower to build up some. A lot of times, that's how I like to use the money flow. Let me just get rid of that page. Isn't that a reversal candle? Look at that on Walmart. Oh, man. It's getting exciting. This is Walmart, man. We're going into Christmas, man. What's up with Target? Let's add some speculation to our investing. Could we make a thesis to make some money on an idea running into Christmas? What if, look, these are hitting extremes and their busiest season is coming up, right? Fucking Grinch, it stole Christmas. What's going to happen, man? What's going to happen at Christmas? This is Target, bro. 265 to 228. It's undervalued by 30% right here. You seen FedEx taken to the woodshed, man. Look at this. What else? Hasbro, that's been my play. You remember? You heard? You know I live in New Orleans now, right? You heard? You heard? Right there, bro. You heard? Where the gangsters play, man. I put it on my story. Come to New Orleans, you'll get carjacked, bro. Up like 300%. You better be strapped. It's gangster city, man. I love it. Fuck, man. Let's do some gunfights in the streets, man. Who wouldn't want to do that? That sounds great. Makes your bar hopping a little more exciting, don't you think? You think, oh, Gerald, you're bullshit. No, I'm not. 3 blocks from my house. Google it. Motherfuckers got gunned down 3 blocks partying on Bourbon Street. That's not the ghetto. It's $2 million for a building on that street. $3 million. It's not ghetto. That's a party place. Gunned down. Pop, pop. Saturday to Saturday. Back to back. Guess what? People will be there partying tonight. Oh, you afraid of getting shot? I don't want to get shot. Why not? You take a risk, man. Shit, people willing to take a risk. Dude, I went down there. You own any Bitcoin? He said, no. I said, let me understand this. You'll come to a bar where people got killed every weekend. Not killed, but shot. Last weekend and the weekend before. But you don't own no Bitcoin. No. Man. What's wrong with the world? They got their wrists maxed up, man. You live with risk every day. People get weird about money, man. Get weird. Called the bottom the other day in Hasbro. Said, hey, I don't know that's the bottom, but I said I was getting in a day early. It's a reversal candle. It's extremely oversold. I'm probably a day early on my box. I'm cool with that. I knew this was going to happen. I mean, I don't want to say I knew, but like you watch these charts so much. When you get a money flow extreme like this, it really wants to catch your attention. Now, this trade has eerie similarities to H&R Block. We had a great move in that, doing a seasonal pattern, H&R Block. And it ain't even going to go back in time. I don't want to pull the chart that far back. Same thing, 3 or 4 months into, where's Kohl's? Yeah, look at Kohl's, dude. Straight down. I don't know. I wait on this one, though. I'd wait on this one. The markets are in constant motion. Each day the market seeks to find fair value as determined by buyers and sellers. These show themselves through rallies. Prices rise and sell off, and prices decline. The sum of the day-to-day prices form an undeniable cyclical pattern. I call it the money flow. Other people may call it something else. How we enter and how we exit are going to be determined by you based on what it is you're trying to get out of the market. That makes sense? Your entry, your exit. So if you lean to a fundamental analysis, let's say you really do, like you like reading about stocks, right? I got to get a position in this. I'm cool if it comes down. I need some shares, man. I need some shares. Then you can look at it, something like this when it goes extreme and starts forming this box and you start nibbling. And you go, man, this is a $70 stock. I need to get in on this. Well, what if it comes down again? It's been here several times, bro. It's been here several times, even though it's been up here several times. So what does that mean? This is normal fucking movement, man. Here and here. Listen to what I just said. Being down here and being up here is normal. It's been here before and before and before and before. Totally normal. And it goes up here. You could own this in your stock portfolio and watch it do this. There's nothing wrong. It's normal movement. Well, people say, well, I got it. I was like, no, it's just time, bro. If you started this game on this day and you said, Gerald, would I buy this stock? No, these are the people you see me yelling at. I'm like, don't be a dummy, man. Don't buy up here. But they got to learn. Everyone does. It takes time. They don't know to trust the RSI. They don't know what the fucking RSI is. They haven't gone and read what is the relative strength. What is an indicator? What are charts? And as you sit down and you start going through this, you start going, wow, this adds order. Yeah, it adds order. And it was going long before me and long before you. It's waking up, going sideways, breaking out, running up, going too high, moving sideways. And as I began to sit there and I'm playing blackjack, and I'm seeing this in my mind, meaning I literally see the 20-day moving average as green. And I see these boxes. So as they're dealing, I got friends to the left and right of me, and they're just chirping, blah, 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 drunk talk, friend talk, right? Just bullshitting. And I'm seeing this. And as we play the game, I'm seeing like, all right, if I have an 11, like I know the rules of the game. I play cards all the time. But this time as I'm playing cards, I'm seeing stock charts, man. And I see it. Money flow. Moves in 4. It's not doing it on the weekly. It's doing it on the daily. And if I can catch that pattern on the daily, I can use time to my advantage. Right? And based on the asset that I'm buying, maybe when I'm wrong, don't even really matter. You guys say, what do you mean? I don't give a fuck if I overpay for real estate. I mean, I'm going to try not to. Okay. But what if I do? Okay. And I still own it. Huh? What about that? I still own it, man. What about that? So let's say I did overpay for Southern Electric. Okay. That was the only time you were ever going to buy it? Those 8 shares? That was your big fucking move in life? Your big fucking move was one time putting money in an account? Wow. You know how many times I've filled up a checking account, bought a property, went to 0, And then I'm back saving it up, save up big ass, put it in, back to zero, go back, save, put it, like that's how you do it, man. You think you're going to just take a sum, one time put in, you're going to run it from 5, 10,000 to $1 million fucking dollars. And then you're just going to sit at home and like, that's not happening, dude. I've never met anybody who ever told me that was their story. I've heard some fucking YouTubers say it 12 months ago. I'm like, yeah, you got lucky, kid. Like, you had a good run. Great. Now what? Like, you got to do it another 50 fucking years, wise guy. Right? Okay, you won the lottery. All right, now what? It's the now what that tells me if you know what the fuck you're doing. Not because you bought a lottery ticket or bought an NFT that was the right NFT. Okay, good move. What do you do with it now? It's what do you do with it now that determines if you know what the fuck you were even doing. Get it? Because the guy that gets it right once gets it right 30 fucking times, 50 times. He's going to keep doing it over and over, right? Why not? If it's repeatable, if it's doable, this is repeatable and doable. My whole life, My whole life, when Exxon got smashed, was a buying opportunity. My whole life. My whole adult life. Every time Exxon gets smashed and comes in stupid low prices, there's been an opportunity for me to make money. You know? I mean, from the daily chart to the weekly chart, it's been this one's been a pretty consistent, you make money. Same in high quality growth stocks, same in, you could say it in gold, but now it's Bitcoin. Every sell-off in Bitcoin, I get blocked from Instagram for calling people stupid for not owning Bitcoin. And then it doubles. You know? If you've owned Bitcoin a year, you ain't lost no money, man. Like, nobody who's owned it for 3 years and did nothing is down. Nobody. There's not a single person that owns Bitcoin, if you've just shut up and held it for 3 years, don't have more money. It's that simple. But in the middle of that, what if we could spot good opportunities? What if we could kind of, even if we're wrong, we're not perfectly right, what if we can see these zones to where we're buyers and then we're sellers? And it don't even have to be that right, man. Hey, if every chance I get, I bought Bitcoin here and sold it here and I didn't get the top and I didn't quite get the bottom, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'll take that deal. If I get it right most of the time, even if I started a little early, but I catch all the tops with those bottoms, I'll do okay. Like I've been seeing that. I mean, I know that, man. I know that for a fact, bro. Let's see. What's good, man? We're just talking about the money flow. That's it. Yes. The recognition of a cyclical flow of capital throughout the markets is the cornerstone on which trading systems operate. The stock market discounts the future. The market doesn't make big moves today on news, but the perception of what the future of the economy of business will be. The smart money insiders and institutions are the first to realize that campaigns' prospects are brightening. From the new book. In other words, the reason these patterns build out is people start to recognize that. And that's that turning effect. And we can only call it, once it's happened. And that's the problem with the moving averages, is they tend to be a lagging indicator of price directional change, right? But when the 5-day crosses the 10-day and 10-day crosses 20-day and all three are pointing up, that is the definition of an uptrend. Price has officially changed directions. And it's going up. And it's going to keep going up until it hits where it was before, and it'll stop. And that is my basic belief. And that is the money flow trading pattern. What I just said right there. And it does it to the upside and it does it to the downside. And you have to decide how you want to interact with that. There is no fucking one way. There is no right way. There's the way that you will do repetitively. Sometimes people act like, well, if I was making money at it, I'd keep doing it. Bullshit. People quit doing things that make money every day. You say, well, I don't like that. Well, okay. You've quit everything you've ever started. Every gym you joined, you said, well, I'm going to one right now. I know. You'll quit it. Relationships, jobs, hobbies. Sometimes it's by choice. Sometimes you're forced to. But we as people quit. This is why it's so hard when if you're like, well, I'm going to move in Bitcoin, I'm going to move out of Bitcoin. Are you? You have that ability? You got a track record of that? You're pretty fucking successful at keeping your word? Staying on track? Really? Are you? With money? Really? Really? I didn't say you understood money. A lot of smart people understand money. They're not collecting any passive income. I get corrected by smart kids all the time. Kids said, hey, you can't even spell. I don't need to know how to spell. When you buy a house, they don't give you a spelling test. Smarty. I didn't need to know anything about physics or how the chemical consistency of drywall mud. Like, nobody asked me. There's nothing about a house that you need to be smart at all. You could totally not know how to spell. They write everything down for you. You just sign it. All you got to do is be able to sign your name. That's it. Have money, sign your name. Same in the stock market. There's a lot of really smart people, and they don't have much money in the stock market. They use their intelligence to keep themselves out of it. They use their intelligence to keep themselves out of it. It's a very common problem. It's a very common problem. Smart people can tend to overanalyze things, get caught up, bring their social beliefs into trading. Well, I don't like that, man. That looks like whale oil. I'm against fossil fuels. I'm not going to do Exxon. Fuck Tesla. I don't like electric cars anyway. People shouldn't smoke. I don't like that. All that can come out and play, man. You know that, right? People don't do that. Oh, they do. There are hedge fund managers who miss this big move in oil because it ain't socially cool. I can't even imagine trading like that. I can't imagine. I'm looking. I can't. But you got to trade your values. Everybody gets out of the market what they want, man. So you get what I'm saying there? So if you want action, if you want to, Let's go. You can get that. They got that for you. They got weekly options. Shit, you get in there day trade, click a button, balloons go off. Like, man, they got that. You can do that. You could take it, you could take it down to the minute, trade the shit out of it. Or you could do it monthly. Right? So on all we had on Exxon was this. These couple weeks here, we had a buy signal, came back down, came back into the box, super bullish, and you had about a 2-week buy cycle. And we know when this runs and breaks, our first target is what? Previous high. But it's usually what? RSI, right? So, and that's exactly what the trade did, man. But this bottom wasn't the final bottom. But because of the value of this asset, I'm okay with that. I'm looking to actually make the trade bigger. You say, what do you mean? Bigger. What do you mean? Bigger. Like, take it up. Like, you're not going to make big money unless you have bigger positions. Like, that's the only way to do it, man. And what I've experienced, because I don't know direction. I don't know if it's going up or down. I know that's what it looks like when it starts to go up. If you move this over, and if we could block off this part of the screen, what you're seeing there is what it looks like when it goes up. And where it's going is where it was before. And I can show you that pattern on chart after chart after chart. And so as we watch the 11 sectors that make up the S&P, and you're watching for this, and you're like, people really make money doing? Oh, yeah. Dude, I got friends that buy houses on this kind of move here. Could buy them a car. A move like this for 54 to 64 in an Exxon, where they buy $300,000 worth. There's people that do that, man. You could do that. Guys, this game is fractal, man. You can add zeros. Your trades are 400, and then they're 4,000, and then they're 40,000, and then they're 400 fucking thousand, and then 4 million, and then 40 million, and then 4 billion. Nobody's doing it on the trillion, I don't think, yet. And what I said is true there. Go look. So, sorry, guys. God damn. I got so many wires and shit going on YouTube, same time here. Fucking. The stock market discounts the future. The market doesn't make big moves in today's news, but on perception of what the future of the economy and business will look like. This is why you can have a stock report great earnings and sell off. Well, fuck, there ain't no reason to own it now. They did what I thought they were going to do. It's over. Completed swing trade. And you'll hear me say a completed swing trade is an extreme low to an extreme high. So once it bangs it, that's it. The big move has been made. So if you're swinging this on oil, the big move's probably been made. And let me let you in on something. At the top, it's going to be, you should buy oil. Everybody should buy oil. Oil's going to $250,000 a barrel. Oil will go forever and ever and ever. And that's what they'll say. And down here, or actually it was way back here, they're telling us oil, that's the fuel of the past. You better learn that. All those people you think are your friends are trying to take your money. They're trying to make money. All those fucking YouTubers. Man, let's pull up a YouTuber. All you got to do, you guys know this, right? Put in YouTube. Just say something. Let's see. Bitcoin. How high? Here's how wild it hit to 20,000. Now, guess what? When Bitcoin turns, you know what you're going to see? All these people here will be saying the exact opposite of that. They'll all be like, Bitcoin's going to 5,000. So that you'll click on it. It's all fear-based, man. It's all fear-based. I literally stop listening to people when they do that. Like, you lose me. I stop thinking you're an intelligent person. Why? Because the cardinal belief of the money flow trading system is that over time, prices go higher. Right there. Market goes up as much as 71% of the time. Problem is, it's not a straight line. Price can only do one of three things: move up, move down, move sideways. I believe price does this in 4 stages. By identifying the stage, we can better allocate our buys to take advantage of sell-off, stage 4 declines, and to maximize price increases to take profits in stage 3s. Did you get that? We want to sell into 3s, not buy, sell. So what you see happening now in oil is forming stage 3s. Now, we don't know for a fact. Maybe it does a little box and then it rips higher and does another one. Just like to the way the downside, there might be 2 or 3 bottoms. We talked about that. It might be more than one bottom. Where's our, what was, hold on just a second. God damn, what is going on with my mouse here? Keep losing my mouse. What the fuck is this tickers? Hold on. You get old, your brain starts to slip. ENVX, god damn. So look at this chart of ENVX. This one we've been at, ENVX. And that's what you're seeing, the pattern, right? Oh, you guys don't want shootings out front of your house. I thought you guys were gangsters. A lot of gangsters on Instagram, and then they go hide. Let's see. They don't even have people getting shot at their house. Let's see. I do. So as you watch these, we'll recap on this. He says shootings every day at Harlem. Right. See, they don't know. Let's see. I was just listening to Gangster Chronicles and this dude that was in Harlem in the 70s. There's our reversal candles, right? Keep an eye out for these. I don't have hard and fast rules on them, and that's what I wanted to bring to your attention today's Sunday service. When you get these little, it really is a point of indecision. There were just as many buyers as sellers. Like we opened, we ran up a little, we ran down a little, we came back, and we started where we started. That really, a lot of times, will catch these bottoms. And if you're already on an extreme RSI, if you're already starting to look like you're building sideways, that's usually like, hey, I got it right there. Goal in life, don't get shot. That is a good goal, bro. Nobody cares about. Beer stocks are just in the shit, man. Let's talk about beer stocks. I got a beer trade going. My man said, Sam, look at this. Look, it's fucking painful. Look what you're wanting people to do. You're like, hey, move to Harlem, bro. I know you might get shot, but live here with us anyway. That's what this is. Just drain our blood. But what do we have going on? We got a breakout now, right? We got a breakout, man. So these have been terrible. I'm just being real, man. I'm in Budweiser, and there seems to be no bottom sometimes when these things get going. So I'm not in Sam. The price tag's big. That is a stage 2 breakout. I like it here. I'm in TAP, and I've been wrong. We tried to break over here. I thought for sure that was the bottom. And this is me showing you where the money flow gets it wrong, and you got to decide what you want to do about that. We had our top. We can look and say, okay, this was This was our 3, stage 4 decline. If you're building the chart, build it back, go backwards. Okay, you had a breakout. That's a false breakout. Go look at these, and you got to make the decision. There's a couple things you could do here. Let me give you a little if you're operating on less money, like you're like, I need money to trade. I don't have that much money. I think you got to get cool with cutting back, taking hits, taking a loss, downsizing, whatever you want to call it. But if you like the stock, then maybe consider just cutting it in half until it sets up again, like over here where you're on the right side, and you start putting it back on. In other words, remember we said this, every bottom's not the bottom and every top's not the top. And you'll have that. Here's an example of one. Going down, you think it's the bottom. No, it ain't the bottom. We're going to go do it again. Well, you can do this same thing on the way up. It starts to run, looks like it puts in a top, starts to sell off, and then just rips higher again. That's the yin and yang, man. Like this is it does this to the downside the same way some stocks do it to the upside. And those we call runaways. Well, you can get these funds to the downside are brutal, man. We had it in marijuana stocks. It just runs to the bottom like there is no bottom. And at some point you're like, fuck, I got to get in this. And then it goes another bottom and you're like, damn, I'm down 20 and I just got in last week. Imagine the dude that was trying it over here, you know? And so when that guy over here, this thing finally does start to run, he's like, fuck this, give me my money. I'm finally out of this. And this is one of the pressures you'll see on a stock that's gotten really smashed is when it does run, it don't take a lot off the bottom to get people to go, hey, just give me some of my money back. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get out of it, not necessarily build it up. You'll see that effect in Bitcoin. You'll see it play out, man. Appreciate you, bro. So keep an eye on those pivot points. Work on drawing your boxes. Not all boxes are the box. You know, not all tops are the tops. We're not trying to predict tops and bottoms. We're trying to take advantage of tops and bottoms. That's different, right? And notice the moving averages, the 5, 10, 20. What side of the 20-day moving average are they on? So as you're looking at a chart and you're going like, hey, okay, it's Christmas coming up. What's your Christmas trade, bro? Go get a notebook, millionaire notebook. Listen to what I'm saying. Go get a notebook and just write down observations. I notice Bitcoin is going up. Write that down. I notice that oil is going up. Gerald just showed me that all the beer companies are doing terrible. Why? Maybe I should go research that. Maybe I want to get in on that. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want to get on that. Look, you can't do everything. I meet people who try to do everything. They're trying to day trade. They're trying to swing trade. They're trying to do weekly options. They're trying to do NFTs. They're trying to do crypto. You can't do all that stuff, man. Not and be good at it. Not as good as me. There ain't no way. You can't watch all of that stuff and do what I do. It's impossible. Your brain can't take in that much. You might be scattered on all that. You might own a little bit of all that, but you're not a master of all that. It's not possible. You can't stay in the flow of Bitcoin and 30, and 25,000 other things, man. Like you're gonna have to narrow in some things. Not if you're gonna be on it. You're gonna have to narrow in. Now, there's people might disagree with me, but a lot of people are buying NFTs. You still can't explain the blockchain. Like we're stuck. We're still there, man. In other words, it's hard to build conviction in something if you actually don't understand it. Like if you don't get it. Like if you really don't get dividends, you're going to have a very hard time holding a dividend portfolio into a sell-off because you don't actually understand dividends and the power of compounding. Have you ever sat down and compounded money? Like put it in a chart. Like if I did that on my video the other day on Instagram because it's part of the code. Time times amount times yield equals $1 million, right? And time. And there's people, if you spend your whole life in short time, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer, I'm a seller, I'm short, I'm buying. Like if you stay in that zone all the time, all the time, what you're going to have is you're going to get 7, 8, 9, 10 years and you don't have all these assets that are doubling and tripling and quadrupling. You get that? What I'm saying there? I mean, you have to have things that you're parking money in that are growing, that are appreciating. That's part of the trading game. It's not just short-term trading or just trying to swing or trying like to do those things well. The people that I know that do them the best, they invest money. And inside of their investments, they start to see opportunities. Do you understand what I'm saying there? So, watch. I think this is super important. Let me try something. All right. So look at this. These are positions, right? So this top one here, we'll just look at the positions. We don't need to see them. I sort them in order of position size based on monetary value. How much money do I have in them? And this is buy and hold shit here. So what business is BX in? So if I learn about this company and I kind of know what they're doing, I know who their competitors are. I know who the small cap players are. And what does this do? So as I watch this stock play and move up and down, when I see it go into a, say, a stage 4 decline, what could that do? That could trigger me. Oh man, I need to keep an eye on these. Okay, so what is the same as Pepsi? Dr. Pepper, right? Coca-Cola. So by owning this stock and watching it go up and down and watching how, sugar prices could affect this, the price of plastic or aluminum or labor, right? Or maybe some new dietary law or you get what I'm saying? Like as I watch this in life, all of that has happened. There was a wave of pushing against soft drinks, like they're bad, they're evil, they make kids fat, like they're made with baby. Like I've heard crazy shit about Pepsi, dude. Okay, well during that time, my 5,000 became like 17,000, and I've watched Pepsi run up and come down and run up and come down, and every time it came down, set up a swing trade for Dr. Pepper, for Coca-Cola. You get what I'm saying? So if we move to Southern, SO, I've got like 50 grand in this sector between Southern, Duke, Edison, right? FE. So as we go through these different ones, why? Because as I watch Southern, it's not good. As I watch Southern, right? Go through the money flow. I don't have to buy Southern here. But what if I wanted to add some other utilities? So we could go look and see, did Duke look the same here? So I don't have to add to the one that I have that it came down. And if I go look, yeah, it didn't get as extreme. So this is Duke. That sell-off wasn't as extreme. So let's say I own Duke, Southern, and I own Edison. You say, why would you own all three? Well, I've been doing it 20 years. So whenever electrical companies sell off, look at this pattern. Doesn't this look like the money flow? Like, look how well, and you'll see why I own so many utility stocks. Now, here's the thing about these. They pay fat, juicy dividends, and they move like this. I don't give a fuck if it's here or here, to be honest. I don't care. What I care about are these. This is what I care about. I want to buy those, whether they're $73, $63, or $650. I don't give a shit. What I'm buying that is I'm buying income on sale. All I'm trying to do here is buy dividend on sale. I'm just trying to allocate money, and through the process of time, times amount, times yield, I'm going to try to grow it. And if just simply buying it here and holding it over time works, if I can target these bottoms, believing that holding over time works, I believe that. Now what if I'm doing? I'm adding aggressively on bottoms. And you say, well, but here's why this works, is you're not doing it on one stock, bro. You're doing it on 50 fucking stocks. But not all fit. Like, okay, so if we look at, this is super important. Exxon. I'm not buying any Exxon. I'm not buying any Conoco. I'm not buying any Chevron. I'm not buying any MLPs. Like, look, where's ET? I did start buying. I can't now. Why? It's a breakout. And you say, what do you mean? Meaning I can, because of my discipline, the way I allocate money inside of this here, right? The way I'm allocating money is based on who do I think represents the best upside going forward? Which one can I harvest because I've owned it a long period of time and now it's doubled and tripled and it's hitting extreme prices? I don't want to sell all of it. I want to trim some to help fund my next deal. And sometimes when I explain this to real estate people, they're like, and I'm like, dude, we do the same thing in real estate. If we buy a house and for 7 years we've paid on the mortgage, for 7 years we've had it rented, for 7 years the loan's been paid down, for 7 years the price has appreciated. In 7 years, that'll be like 6 figures of money that is yours based on equity increase, loan pay down, and property management. And you've raised the rent. So the asset now has $100,000 plus, probably, if you're good at it. But if you're just terrible at it, it's probably got $100,000 after about 5 to 7 years. You probably have $100,000 equity, pretty much anywhere in America. 5 years of a rented house that you're making payments on that appreciates. Plus, remember your down payment in there. You're going to have like 100 G's. Well, you could do something with that 100 G's. You could take 25 off and buy another property. So when Exxon runs up real high, I can take some off and I can buy maybe Hasbro. Maybe and this is in my buy and hold now. This is not in, there's no stops. And you say, why are you buying this one? Well, because this company is undervalued and it's not doing well. There's supply chain problems. Good. That's the only reason I can get it cheap. I need fucking problems. The reason you get houses cheap is there's roof problems, foundation problems, electrical problems, there's gang problems, there's fucking problems. People who assume problems or fix problems or step in where there's problems get money. That's the universal law. So if you're looking for no problems and you're looking for areas where it's easy and there's not much to do, then guess what? You don't get paid shit. Hello. So like people will be like, oh, you got any turnkey? Man, get the fuck out of here with that. No, go buy an index fund. It works. Index fund works, dude. That's why this works. Because index funds work. All right? Could you make money in turnkey? Really? I guess. You know, but that's not what I'm teaching. You're not getting rich doing that fast, okay? The easier it is, the less hands-on you have, the less involved you are, the harder it is to make big money. I mean, just as a general rule. For small players anyway. Let me rephrase that. If you're sitting on a billy, it gets real easy. So if we got our millionaire notebook, oil's high, Bitcoin's high. Those are high. There's no deals there. There's no deals in the oil stocks. There's no deals. Look at ConocoPhillips. I own this. You think I'm buying here? Hell no. You know what I'm doing here? It's time to cash in. It's time to cash in. It's time to cash in, bro. But I'm not doing it overnight. I'm going to trim it down. I'm going to ride this up. I'm going to trim it down. Now what? I need to buy some things that look the opposite. Right? I know this isn't going to keep going. So now this is not a buy at all. No resources are dedicated to oil at all here. None. You should have already been long done with that. Now you're getting paid. Now your account balance is going up. So if you bought 30,000 of Exxon, it's a lot higher now. So now you would want to trim that, man. But not in one shot. Like people tend to get out too fast. This is going to roll. Let it go. Just trim a little, let it go. Trim a little, let it go. This game plays out over weeks and months and years, man. Let it go. Yeah, man. This is ConocoPhillips. It's been a beauty. You know where it was beautiful, though? The days that it was the most beautiful are the days that people don't like it. Right? So we know that's a buy signal. You got the money flow right there. Sell signal. Now we've run up. Buy and hold. You ignore these, man. You don't care about sell signal and buy and hold. No reason. Now, the smart, if you equate a lot of this to real estate, what a lot of smart guys do, I mean, maybe you can make the move where you roll out of all your properties. I mean, that just seems crazy to me. But you can look at your portfolio and go, wow, man, this stuff is really appreciated. Why don't we take some of that and go allocate it here, here, or here? Same in stocks, man. That game is being played at ARK funds, at Warren Buffett's house. Warren Buffett is very aware that oil stocks are on fire right now. He's very aware. Right? And I guarantee you what he's looking at doing. All right, how do we use this to get more? That's the decision he's thinking. What's not on fire? Or what's in the oil sector that has lagged? Do we have anything like that? Probably not. And if we look at crypto, it's run too, man. Look at Bitcoin. Is it too high? It's too high for me to buy. I can't buy it here. If I didn't have any Bitcoin, I would buy Bitcoin. Oh, you guys would know Bitcoin. Stop bullshitting. Click my link, get on a Coinbase account, put $100 in there, and look at it tomorrow morning. And then go get a chart and look at it the next day. I mean, that's it, man. That's all you got to do. Chewy, growth stock, they've been terrible. I got a family member trying to call through. Woo! Here's a failed stage 1, man. Look. Stage 4 decline, Chewy stock. A lot of people order this. People get this every day to their house. Don't even occur to them to invest in the company. Look, that's a failed stage 1. It held it, started to go sideways on the extreme, and then what? Broke. Oof, brutal. Right? We might do another one. And then what? When it finally turns, guess what? There's your first target. There's your second. Now here's where it'll mind fuck you, man. When it comes back to this here, you might be like, man, I just got even. I know. That don't mean nothing. The market don't care about that. That only means something to you. And you say, what do you mean? Meaning the money flow pattern, dude, can run up, go sideways, come down. You start buying, right? So let's say you start buying here, and then it gets smashed again, and it comes over. So you buy a little more, but then it gets smashed again, comes over. Now you start buying it, and it runs up real big from the bottom, like way up into here, man. And guess what? The RSI goes extreme. Well, guess what? Rolls over, comes back down. If you know that pattern, you can pull off from there, lock in a tax loss, add that money to something breaking out, come back to this thing. You don't have to get all your money back on the first go round, man. It's going to do this pattern for a while. You get what I'm saying there? I mean, it's not going to the true value of one money flow run. Look at this. This is alt. I've been in alt for a year now. Look. We've been as high as what? Over here, and then what? Down here. So let's say you just got the money flow book, and you're learning to do this, and you bought this breakout, and it ran up, and you didn't take any off here, and you're like, okay, let's see what's up. And then you wake up, and it has a massive drop. And you say, what happened? And I'd say, you bought a biotech. That's what happened. When you buy a biotech stock, you're cool with this. That's just part of the game. Guess what? Boxers get punched. That's what happens. And if you play football, you get sacked, punched. People hit you. This is part of the game, man. So if you cry on this, go do something else, man. Go fucking do something else with your time. This happens in biotech stocks. Is there no sound? That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, fuck Instagram. Fuck those guys on Instagram. That's what I say. I'm kidding, man. Calm down. I love Instagram people. Finish with my point here, and I think this is for your mind. Get your mind around this. I hold this in my buy and hold as one of my, let's say you got a buy and hold stock. I think you should make most of them dividend or growing dividend stocks. Like Starbucks is growing their dividend. Don't make all your buy and hold stocks 8, 9, 10% dividend yield stocks because they won't appreciate. Meaning you need those stocks to be like 2, 3% dividend yields. Those are the ones that are, they need money to grow the business, man. So if you stack your buy and hold with these high yield things, they don't grow. They don't grow. All the money's coming exclusively from dividends. But inside of that too, you want to add a little speculation. And for me, I make them like, that I just think are easy. Like Uber. When Uber fell to $18, I bought 200 shares in my buy and hold account. My IRA, my SEP IRA, my IRA, I bought 200 shares of it. That was my speculation of that year. And I bought 100 of Lyft because it fell to like $12. I still have them. They've doubled and tripled. Like I think Lyft's like 300% or whatever. I'll just keep them. That was a crime of opportunity. It was the opportunity to buy a Mona Lisa at half price or to buy a Rolex at half price because there was just a couple weeks where people lost their fucking mind and they sold it cheap. And if you're in this game for a long period of time, you don't have to do anything with that stock. I don't want to misspeak on this. Let me see if it's... And what I do when I do something like that is if it rips, and a lot of them are easy, man. Facebook at dirt cheap. I mean dirt cheap, not it pulled back. That's not dirt cheap. I mean stuff that can really go if you just wait. And I have 3 different buy and hold accounts, and I have 1 or 2 of those in each account. It's not a trading account. That's what I'm trying to say. And so the point being is I have alt in there. And all I've done is I took some off at these extremes and I put it back on. And this is not alt, but it's the same chart. Hold on. Where's the alt chart? And we've played this little game here. And you wake up and it's down big. And then what? Bought some more. It runs up. I took a little off. What am I playing? I'm playing for when this thing goes to $32. And then I'm going to sell half and just let it sit as an asset we own. And I'm going to move that money that was made into another extreme. But I'm keeping this. It's a percentage. You can't let that buy and hold account become all these big dividend payers. Like, let's see, even AG&C. Here's an example. Huge dividend payer. I own this, but I only buy it when it's on sale. If you back this up, go to a monthly chart. I want you to see something. It doesn't really grow much. Okay? And it can drop really volatile. These are very extreme. These are risky stocks. Anything paying 8, 9%, they're using leverage. So when this, I assure you, was COVID, and this was these guys make their money on mortgages. So it's all connected to bonds and interest rates, man. And these things can really drop. So when you want to buy REITs is when they're on sale. So when you see these big drops, you want to step in and start buying REITs. And then you just keep them, hold them. And if you get a massive move, good. You got a huge return in an asset producing money. You could trim a little, right? To what? Go find something else. And everything has its day, man. Every dog has its day. It could be oil. It could be right now. I mean, the alcohol stocks have just been obliterated. Look at Budweiser. It's a monthly chart from 115 to 50. Where's Sam Adams? It was 1,300. It's 500 now. What about Tab? It was $95. Now it's $44. Like, what is going on there? These are terrible. This is all the way back to 2011 prices, man. Why? Well, that's something, if we got a little time, if we got a little patience, maybe we can get in on this. Maybe it's not the exact bottom, but if I got 3-5 years, maybe I get enough tap, it buys me a house in a couple years. I don't know. I don't know how you have your shit structured, you know. I have mine structured. Brokerage account. I put this on my Instagram the other day. You got to be set up to receive, man. So you need a brokerage account that's not margin. And if you want to do margin and your speculation and crazy trading, do that in a margin account. You can have that. But you need a large speculative account, one that you need an account that you can buy stocks in, that you're not a forced seller. If you're on margin, they can force you to sell. If you pay cash, they can't make you sell. So you need money that's not on margin. If you're on margin, you're at risk of blowing out. Every fucking day you could blow out. Because if it goes low enough and low enough and low enough, it won't be an opportunity for you anymore. It's going to be a blowout because you owe. Get it? Meaning you want to use margin when it's at your advantage, not at your disadvantage. So you got to be careful with it. And that takes time and cycling the markets. So if you're in that, man, I assure you, you should get off of it. Even if you miss a few days, cancel it, move shit over, get most of your money out of margin. And then if you want to have a margin account, that's good. That's how I have mine separated. My big trading account, no margin. And then I got a margin account. I'm fully aware if I'm margin, I could have problems. Get it? That's what that account is acknowledging that. That's part of control, a position control, controlling the uncontrollables. You might wake up and there's a catastrophic event. You're going to blow right. There's a dude that committed suicide on his Robinhood. You remember that couple? Because he was leveraged to the fucking gills. Stupid. $2 million. It's fucking stupid. You would have that much money and you don't have it properly allocated. You don't have walls between you and stupid. You don't have rules. You don't have diversification. Like, you're not playing this like an adult. You're playing it like a complete fucking lunatic. You can't do that, man. You got to get that stuff fixed early and do it right and take time. People spend more time investigating a refrigerator than understanding their trading platform. Like, practice. Part of your day is practice. Part of my day is learning to use this. Part of my day is studying the price pattern, right? Understanding the indicators, right? As I go through here, how is my money allocated? What could blow me out? What could blow me out? So if I'm in all options, you could lose all your money. You understand that, right? You could lose all of your money. So that don't make sense. I doubt anybody would do that, but I mean people that do it all the time. You can't put yourself in that position. With this comes great responsibility. And if you play this game right, like chess, like if you're putting on if you were buying $1 million of this, you would have turned 15 million into 21 million. This little move here. You were just watching the money flow. Right? That is 15 million is now 21 million. You close it, pay your taxes, transfer $1 million to your checking, and you go back to trading, right? You could do that. I don't do that, but you could do that. That's just zeros. Maybe it's 200,000 is turned into 260. You close it, set aside for taxes, transfer 30 to your checking. And what? Go look for a house. Next day you're back to trading. Like that's just clicks of mouses, man. That's the infinite possibility of what you have available. We got to have numbers though. So in Bitcoin, the volatility on Bitcoin, man, if you can get the conviction to buy the lows on this, you can double like that. It's fucking crazy. 30,000 to 50,000. 2 months. That's 3 million, 5 million. It's 5 million, what? Get it? Or it's $50, $90. It's just zeros, man. So if I was to sit down with you and say, hey, bro, you think you could just buy all the lows with $10, and when it runs up, trim it back and wait for buying the lows, and when it runs up, trim it back, pay yourself on the trims. Think you could do that with 100, and then when it gets up here, drop it to 80. See, if I say that number, that gets easy, but if I say 800,000, the clicks get harder. Maybe I need to read a few more Instagram stories. Maybe I need to go look at a few more videos. The click is different. An $80,000 click is different than an $80 click. Right? So a guy says, what do you think of Shiba? I said, how much money you got in Shiba? He said, $300. I said, it don't fucking matter, bro. Okay. Okay, it goes up. You made good. You got $1,000. All right. You got 50 more years now. Stop for effect. You gotta do this again. So where's Doge right now? I like Doge right now because nobody else does. Let's see. Look, even Doge is doing the money flow, man. Look at this. There's your stage 1, right? Stage 2 breakout. Well, it's over here too. Look at the RSI 1 extreme. They say, when do you sell Doge? On the extreme. There's your fake breakout. We broke back down. Crashed. Has it ever stopped here before? Yep. Classic bottom. We started buying. Where's our target? Right up in here. Doge is following it. Ethereum. That's it, man. I'm just babbling now. I'm looking through some of these crypto charts. Yeah, I think we're stalling out here, man. Let's be real. Let's talk about it. Momentum to the upside on Ethereum has stopped. We stopped right where we stopped before. Didn't go extreme. That tells me we can keep moving. Do you see that? There's no extreme. So I'm going to assume we keep going up, even though the momentum is slowed. We haven't come out of this extreme, so we continue to believe the trend is to the upside. Make sense? TTD. Come on, man. It ain't the next Amazon, bro. TTD. Come on, man. Trade Desk is the next. Let's see. Yeah, I like this. I'm not in it. I should have been in it. I'm in Hood. Similar chart. These are going to roll together. I'm in Coin. Coin's trying to break out. But TTD, I like it. These stocks are not popular right now, though. There's a lot of stocks I like that are not popular right now. Retail stocks. What's your stock chart ID? I just signed up. Full Auto, baby. fullauto11@gmail.com. That's it, man. That's all I got today. Go hit the newsletter. I updated it. It's pretty updated. I didn't update the crypto much. It's kind of doing the same thing it was doing last time I updated it. Some of the coins I'm in. We're tracking Bitcoin. I haven't updated it since the breakout. You say why? It's kind of doing the same thing. There's nothing to update. Okay. So if you remember, what day was this? October 1st. So 10 days ago, we caught it. Now, if you follow with me, I was texting all through here. Oh, we're about to blow. Go look on Twitter. I was like, it's about to go. Get on board. You can see it. And you say, how do you know? I follow the hour chart, man. I follow Bitcoin 24 hours a day. As soon as I wake up, I check the price of Bitcoin. I go to bed, before I go to sleep, I check the price of Bitcoin. And I'm just trying to catch the top. So my target, I figured where we'd slow down is this 51,500 range. Where are we at right now? And we blew right through that. See that? So this could be our new base, man. You say, what do you mean? Resistance becomes support. So this is our new support line, maybe. Might get a chance to add to Bitcoin here. If Bitcoin holds here and holds this box, then all we're going to get is another chance to add before we run higher. So that's how I'm seeing it. And I assume to the upside until we get other ways around. I mean, I'm not assuming downside. Why the fuck would I assume that? That's losers. If you're always assuming the downside, you're a loser. If you're always assuming the crash, you're a loser. If you're always looking for the fear-based and the why, you're a loser, man. You're losing. You're going against time. You're going against future. You're going against the fucking universe. It wants you to be prosperous. It wants you to have more and accumulate and grow and expand. It doesn't want you to have. Nobody goes. So like you go into a church and all they're preaching is bad. Destruction, death, coming, like judgment. Like you got to get out of there, man. You got to get out of there. That's bad. That's the effect of politics. Social agendas. People start to use that division, fear. Go down to YouTube. End of money. It's over. You're all going to... All right. Okay. And gold was going to be the savior. That's not working, bro. All that's been bullshit, man. It's going down. It hasn't run up. All that stuff they've been saying is nonsense. The housing crisis, crash, didn't happen. All bullshit. It's going up. The price just goes higher and higher and higher. And they're like, well, it's a bubble. They're paying with cash, man. I'm sitting on tons of cash. I don't know anybody that's bubbled. I don't know anybody leveraged. Maybe you're leveraged. I got tons of money. So I don't know how you blow out if you have tons of money. Like to bust a bubble means there's no money. And if people can, fuck it, I'll overpay for the house. I don't give a fuck. Now, another guy may say, oh, well, because they're getting it at such low interest rates. Okay, but nobody's getting that low on second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th house. Nobody's giving you 2% on your 10th house, man. It's not how it works. I just got a loan with an 800 credit score worth $3 million with plenty of passive cash flow, and it was a fucking pain in the ass. Like, we had to go through a lot of bullshit, had to turn in a lot of papers, show evidence and proof. It wasn't like they were just handing it out, man. Like they make it sound, oh, money's free, money's cheap. Bullshit. It might be for some people. It ain't never been that way for me. I got to go borrow it. Now, if you're borrowing it at 10, 12%, maybe there's people that'll hand it out to you, but I'm not doing that. You know, so I paid 4.5 on my last house. Seems fair. Anyway, Bitcoin's going higher. Let's see. Trains. We were on this one. CSX. In your little notebook, write this down. Trains. I got to watch trains. Gerald says watch trains. So in our Discord group, I was talking about this. Look at the train stocks. When you manage a portfolio, you need to know in your portfolio what just went below the 200-day moving average. So let me show you something. CSX trains. See that right there? 301 shares. Current return. I'm up $7,286. 283% return on CSX trains. This here. Now, this is a buying opportunity. But because I've been doing the money flow for many years, do I have to jump on this? Like, I got 10 grand. Do I need to get money in this? I'm up 280%, throws me a little dividend. Maybe I'm good. So if I already own this, because I've been doing it since, what year? 2012. Look, 2012. I bought was it 30 shares? I don't know, not that much. And it's up 283%. So is this a big buy for me? Maybe. Maybe this is when I get a chance to add UNP. That's another trucking. I don't own that one, so I get a chance. And look what happens. There's our buy. We talked about this. But you had to make that decision. That's your day. There's your buy. Price closed above the 5. It held the bottom. There's your box. There's your RSI. There's the crossover. Momentum changed, right? So we see these every day. I'm watching these every day. Every stock I own, I'm watching. So the day you don't, I got to go through. I got to look and see what stocks do I own out of all of these stocks here. Which ones are trading below their 200? They're undervalued. That would be a good place to allocate new money to. Or trimmed money. Maybe I made some money in something, right? Maybe I made some money. So I go to that and I'm like, okay, what's the point? If right now I'm trying to grow my dividends, then I'm looking at the ones that would give me the best dividend plays, right? So anyway, that's what these were. We rocketed up. Would you buy here now? No. Why? Coming into a 70 RSI. But do you see how this created a swing trade? By watching my buy and hold, I found a swing trade. By watching this, the buy and hold, the dogs of the Dow, like I talk about, Merck, these are just normal stocks, man. There's nothing fancy here. Like ED, ED. This is a new, if you notice, look, I only got $2,919 of this. When did I start buying ED? In 2020. That's why it's small. I just started a year ago. So every chance I get, when did I add to this last? 10/4. That was what, last week? 10/4? Yeah, I bought 2 shares. 2 shares. Let's see. Where was ED last week? Look where we were. So 2/4. Right over in here. Where do I want to buy these for the next 10 years? Over here, right? I don't want to buy up here. And then after doing this for years and years and years, I might want to sell into here. Why? To push that money into something new. Maybe up here, oil's cheap. Maybe up here, Hasbro's cheap. Maybe up here, oil's expensive and Hasbro's cheap. And so I trim a little and allocate a new position. And now when I go back to this, there's 80 of these. And I'm scanning and you're like, what stock should I pick? The ones you fucking own. Like, always start there. I don't need to go look for a stock if I own stocks. You get what I just said there. So here's O, the monthly dividend company. When do we want to buy this? Whenever we see extremes. So let's say I'm putting $200 in my account and I look over here and I'm like, whoa, there's my box. Has it ever stopped here before? Yeah, look. So if I go to the money flow, what am I doing? I'm buying. Well, I already moved my thing. Damn it. I buy a little, right? I want to buy bottoms, man. I want to buy all of them. You do that for years and years, and then when it breaks and runs and hits those high extremes, you made a little money. You made 6,000, 3,000, 4. You trim 20 of that, open up something else. That something else pays you a dividend, and you start adding some new money to that. You trim a winner here, and then you add that, and then you buy and share yourself, and all of a sudden it runs. You don't sell any just because it ran. Your position ain't that big. I'm going to wait, and over time, as this game plays out, look at Ford. I trimmed Ford earlier in the year. Why? Look where it ran, man. I trimmed Ford at $16. Why? That's true value is worth about $16. I'd been buying a bunch of these stage ones in the past. Now it's time to take it down. Sell 300 shares and what? Now I got lucky and it moved down. But when do we want to put it back on? Maybe over here it's different. Now it's undervalued again. Owned it here. Still own it. Right? But the seeing the flow of the money flow could affect how I'm trading it. What's my time frame? So if this is a dividend fund, so I collect like $2,000 a month in dividends. Give me the money. Why? So I can buy stocks. I don't want the money. I want the $2,000. So I can maybe I could put it all into O, and that'll increase that dividend. Then next month I could put it all into here, and that would increase. And then the next month I could put it all in here. And I don't do it that way, but you could. You could let it all come to cash, and then just push the whole thing in the one that's set up on the best RSI, right? So I don't only want to buy Procter & Gamble. I only want to add to it when it's on sale. Other than that, what? I'm just collecting a little dividend, right? I want to buy down here, not up in here, right? And so where's it at? I'm around the 200. It's way above the 200. I wanted to be a buyer when it was down below it and undervalued, right? So if you go look, I haven't bought it. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to buy. I want to buy what's on sale. It's not coming down. Walmart's coming down. Walmart came way down. Now I'm on this side. I might want to share $140. Yeah, let me get one of those. So it's like shopping. Oh, let me get 2 of those. Let me get 3 of that Uber. Hey, up there on that shelf, let me get 2 left. It's like going to the fireworks stand. And as you play this forward, year after year, month after month, year, all of a sudden you have a shit ton of money, man. Shit ton. But that takes time, playing that out. So I run like 4 accounts like this. And you go down the side and you add them all up, and it's like, 800,000, 850, something like that. Then I sit on some cash, and then real estate, houses. And so it's every day. You're looking at all of these assets. So you're carrying a notebook. Where are they at? Why was I buying so much Uber? It's way below the 200. It's undervalued. This is a speculation play. There's no dividends here. If I get this wrong, I'm just fucked up. But my time frame is longer than yours. I'll play it for 5 fucking years. It's not be all and end all. It's not this week or next month. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'll play this. Maybe it runs to 47. It pulls back, and you think I'm supposed to do something with it. No, I ain't got to do shit with it. Pull it back. Pull it back down here to 40 again. Good. The game where we're going is up here, man. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I do know the flow of movement. So I'm going to use all of those to my advantage so that I can get a bigger payoff over here. Most people, that's not trading, man. They're not seeing it like this. They don't need a notebook for what they're doing. You don't need a notebook when you operate inside chaos. You only need a notebook when you're trying to predict, when you're trying to control, when you're trying to be disciplined, when you're trying to influence your future. Right? So what you write, what you put down, what you name, you control. If you are a Christian, you were born and we were in the Garden of Eden. Right? And we got kicked out. But before we got kicked out, what did God say? He said, name all the animals, man. Name them. What is that about? Ownership. That's it, man. Ownership.